So what's up people, and welcome to another One Piece video. So for today's video, I wanted to ask a question to many of you readers of One Piece who are caught up in the most recent chapters of the series. And because of that, I do want to make a quick spoiler alert right from the beginning. If you have not read the most recent chapters of the Wano arc in One Piece, then I may suggest for you to turn off this video, because even if you are an anime watcher, the recent episodes of the anime have not caught up to the chapters that I want to talk about here. And so if you do not want to be spoiled, then please turn off this video. But in any case, the question I do want to ask the manga readers is exactly the title of this video. Do you feel the Strawhat Grand Fleet will appear in the Wano arc? Now originally I thought that they might, just because of the fact that Kaido's army is such an overwhelming force that Luffy may need the assistance from the Grand Fleet to do so. However, as the story kept on going, of course this went away because, Luffy and the samurais have been doing a pretty good job due to various circumstances that occurred in the story, including the support that he got from both Yamato as a personal support when he's fighting Kaido, but also from Otama, who has turned around and gave him an additional army. And of course, we are seeing a tremendous number of level ups coming in the story. And so I thought that this could continue on and end the arc without ever having to bring the Grand Fleet in. However, why I now was wondering whether the Grand Fleet will arrive is due to this scene that has come out in the most recent chapters. As you recall, CP0 has been watching this entire thing and has been continuously communicating with the headquarters with regards to what has been going on. And it turns out that the world government is hoping that the pirates basically annihilate each other so that they won't have to worry about a lot of these forces. However, if anybody is going to win, they are hoping that it will be Kaido, because of the fact that if Kaido defeats the Straw Hats and the samurais of Wano, then things will go back to what it was before, which for the world government is more favorable than if Luffy won. And what we find out is that in case Luffy wins this situation, then the Marines have already set actions in place to resolve that problem. And that is to send in a fleet of Marines to take out whoever is left alive after the battle in Wano. Now, if we recall from all of the previous arcs, or most of the previous arcs, whenever they did defeat an enemy, they were left so battered that they couldn't do much of anything afterwards. There were only a few situations where they were still standing relatively strong. One was Fishman Island, another was Punk Hazard. And of course the earlier chapters of One Piece before the Arlong arc. But we know that Luffy is fighting Kaido, one of the strongest characters in One Piece. And on top of that, we have Big Mom, and of course all of their underlings that they are with. And so this is going to be one of those extremely difficult battles where most likely everybody will be completely wiped out, even if Luffy does win the battle, right? That's what we saw in Enies Lobby, that's what we saw in Alabasta, that's what we saw in Dressrosa. And so if the Marines arrive after that, how are they going to be able to take on the Marines? And my feeling is they're going to need to get support from a surprise Nakama, right? And so who better to be able to support Luffy than the Grand Fleet? Now the other reason why I feel that there may be a possibility that the Grand Fleet is arriving is because at the end of the Dressrosa arc, they did say that the Grand Fleet will make a mark in history. But at that time, they said that it is something to be told later on. Well, now it's later on. And is this the situation where the Grand Fleet will make a mark in history? The reason I'm asking this is because if we expect the future arc to be the final war between Luffy and the world government, then it's going to be such an epic confrontation that I am not sure if the Grand Fleet appearing at that time will make such an impact to be noticed, right? There will probably be so many of Luffy's Nakama appearing in the final battle that the Grand Fleet may not be singled out as being a history maker, right? It will be the Straw Hat Pirates and the entire fleet. Maybe that's what they're talking about, is that the Grand Fleet in its entirety, which will probably grow between now and the final confrontation, will be the supporting fleet to fight alongside the Straw Hats. Maybe. But if not, one possibility could be that the Grand Fleet makes a mark in history here, because not only will they be able to help resolve the final confrontation in Wano, but if the Marines arrive, and if the Grand Fleet appears, they may be the one that will push the Marines back, in which case it will be one of those historic moments when the Marines lost the battle. So either the Marines will have an internal revolution where people like Kobe and Hemlappo and Tashigi and Smoker may join Luffy's side, or could the Grand Fleet appear in the final chapters of the Wano arc to conclude that battle? Anyway, that's all I wanted to ask. A quick question with regards to that for anybody who's reading One Piece. I would be very grateful to get your opinion with regards to this. And this isn't one of those things where this is how it is or please tell me how it is. I'm just speculating things because the chapters are getting so interesting with regards to this story. I am really looking forward to seeing what happens at the end of Wano. But in any case, thank you very much for listening to this video. Thank you once again if you leave your comments. And I'll continue to make more One Piece videos in the future. And I hope you join me at that time. And until then, happy manga reading. And as always, Jaya, nice day everyone.